Today I want to pick up on a thought that we started developing a little earlier from Matthew chapter 25. I'm going to read Matthew 25 verses 24 and 25. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. This is the tail end of a story Jesus tells about a master who gives his servants money to invest. When the master returns from an extended trip, he asks the servants to give an account. 2 of them have doubled the original principal, but it turns out that the one who was entrusted with the least was also the one least likely to succeed. Apparently, the master knew exactly what he was doing when he distributed the money in the first place. You know, sometimes we look at a story like this, and in light of modern egalitarian philosophy, we think that God really should have given more to the servant who only got a single talent. No wonder he failed, we're tempted to think, because God didn't trust him enough in the first place. It's absolutely amazing how the human brain is always able to find a reason that it's not your fault when things go wrong. But maybe it's possible that the master in this story knew a thing or two about character before he handed out the gifts. Given the outcome of the story, it's likely that if God had entrusted the lazy servant with 5, 10, or 20 talents, he would have buried those too. In giving out one, God was still taking a risk and providing an opportunity for someone who didn't deserve it to expand his horizons. You'll notice that those who were faithful received a reward that was bigger than the original gift. And I think it's safe to assume that the unfaithful steward would have been treated the same way if he'd only acted wisely. This famous story really says something important about our relationship with God. Even though it's absolutely true that God loves us for who we are, and even though it's absolutely true that He's willing to accept us and forgive us regardless of where He finds us in life, no matter what we've done, no matter where we've been, He's never happy to just leave us where He found us. With the sacrifice of Jesus, He made a considerable investment in our salvation, and He wants us to move past the point where we started. He not only saved us from the ultimate penalty of sin, He also wants us to take advantage of the new life that can be ours through the power that Jesus offers. To put it simply, He wants us to grow, because those are the kinds of people who are going to do well in the kingdom of heaven. And that's why tapping into what Jesus has to offer and living the better life now is going to prove in the long reaches of eternity to absolutely be the better way to live.